walking right by me like it's nothing. Fuck you thinking. I saw you feeling greedy across the room. Now let me have you come here. Can we skip the games and the 3-day text? Oh baby, you have got nothing to fear. Do you fuck with me or am I losing it? Trying to make things clear. Let me take you to my place. Just leave the talking to me and open up, you'll see that I wanna take you back to my place. Just take a walk with me so everyone can see us. What if I told you that I knew I'd figure it out without a doubt? I say, so get those eyes on me from across the room. Now let me have you come here. Can we skip the games and the 3-day text? Oh baby, you have got nothing to fear. Don't fuck with me or am I losing it? Trying to make things clear. Neutron! Is she for real? I'm looking at you, walking right by me like it's nothing. Fuck you thinking. Let me take you to my place. Just leave the talking to me and open up, you'll see that I wanna take you back to my place. Just take a walk with me so everyone can see us. Let me take trouble finding my past in places I've known to call home. And even if I could recover, I still wouldn't have a reason to stay here. No, I would keep running from who I am now, desperately looking for someone to heal me. Please make yourself appear from the mist. I know I can see you now, I can't refuse. Please make your way out of the dark now. Make me believe that I still have reason to stay here. I'm lost without you. I'll move every mountain here for you. Let it go, just let it go. I promise to go where we last held on. I'll fall without you, right to the ground beneath the grass I'll lay. My bones will shed the tears I left, leaving the memory we once shared. I'll be the one who says sorry for the life I gave you then. I'll come out the dark now. Make me believe that I still have a reason to stay. I'm lost without you. I'll move every mountain here for you. Let it go, just let it go. I promise to go where we last held on. I'm lost without you. I'll move every mountain here for you. Let it go, just let it go. I promise to go where we last held on.
What is up, my family? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's a little bit late, right? Coming in super hot in the late night or early morning for some of you out there, right? So welcome back to the channel. Really excited to be streaming with you tonight, right, man? All good in the hood today. Right now, as we speak, experiencing a very interesting, momentous upside price action right now on ticker symbol XRP, right? Go ahead and witness here, team, what is happening before our very eyes right now. We are about to reach the $2 target, man, the massive $2 target that we've been talking about here for XRP for quite some time now. I understand that I'm getting a little bit of focus issues here, but it's all good in the hood. But welcome back, team. Please do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. So let's go ahead and just take a look at this. Michael Payne, my bro, what, dude, coming in super hot with that dono. I really appreciate you, my brother, and I promise you, man, that I thought about this twice. I was like, you know what? I should probably just do a live stream here for XRP, because there is, man, you know, my master's students know of this. I wanted to make sure that they had the advantage over the thread of analysis that I have presented here, man. But I will say this, man. I have to show you, man, and others that have not actually seen the XRP chart over the metrics that I have taken, right? Statistical targets. I'm talking about geometrics. I'm talking about deviating concepts, bro. I have found it all, my brother. So I'm very excited to finally be releasing this analysis here to the public, man. because my students have been the first to receive this, and they have been patiently waiting for this price to actually finally make its real move towards that upside, right? So why don't we just go ahead and get this thing rolling here and really take a look at what we have going, right? First, I want to just go ahead and express the patterns here, right? So first of all, psychology behind this, we do have a tri-formation, something that I've coined myself, right? This would be a bullish tri-formation breakout, and I am talking about 3 bullish formations within one structure, right? So we are talking about these structures right here. I want you to just go ahead and focus on this, right? Take a look at this structure here, right? This thing here, right? And then I want you to take a look at this structure here. So these are, I guess, within fractal analysis, right? They are presenting a potential similarity, right? Of course, within different time frames, but very, very similar. Nonetheless, I have something to present to you within them, right? So the bottom one has a pennant, right? Followed by a descending triangle or right angle triangle, right? This is amongst actually the only formation here in stock trading that has the mathematical properties, right? This is your hypotenuse here. And then in the other phase, we actually have a similar thing going on, right? We have a similar pennant breakout and also a right angle triangle, except that the right angle triangle up here is inverted, right? So this is a right angle of ascending triangle, right? So very good stuff. This is a descending and this is the ascending version of it. So all good in the hood. Now, what this does for us is that it presents to us a few targets to kind of keep in mind, right? It gives us the ability to see a few targets here. Now, if you take into consideration the breakout targets from these triangles here, they lead towards this upside of which we got resistance here, right? So similar situation here, taking the target from this area here in the right angle triangle, that gives you a target to the upside of around a massive target of around $17, right? We're not going to get there just yet, but I do have other targets to present to you because this is just what it shows. Now, remember, please, guys, if you are new to the channel, if you are experiencing this for the first time, I am not a holder of XRP, right? I probably have like a $10 position. I'm really not long-term holder, right? I am a day trader. I momentum trade, and I trade based on it doesn't matter, right? It's just not your style here. So what I'm doing here is presenting potential investment strategy within this for those of you who are planning to hold long-term of XRP, which is something that I'm sure many of you will be experiencing here, right? So Queenie baby, good to see you in there. Thank you for sharing that, man. So here we go. Let's go ahead and dive right in, right? So upside targets on this, you're already seeing them. I got to show you that the bottom side formation, the third formation was an inverted head and shoulders, right? Led to the target towards the upside. Good stuff. It was this one right here. That was the initial breakout before test of the triangle continuation to the upside. Now, if we take a look at this formation here, well, you will see a similar formation here, right? There's your inverted head and shoulders as well. So first, we're going to talk about psychology, right? We're going to talk about the silly little lines and silly little coloring book lines, right? That we're going to talk about. Bro, my line, bro, right? So that's what we're going to talk about first before we get into the mathematical concepts, right? So we have tri-formations built in within both of the phases here, and they're very similar. Now, if I can show you something else within this chart here is actually the relationship between BTC and XRP, right? So specifically talking about the monthly time frame correlation coefficient, right? So this is your correlation coefficient chart, and this just basically tells you the relationship values by percentage between BTC and this asset itself, right? So if you are up here in the top areas of around 90%, that means almost dead on perfect correlation, right? So we are in a monthly time frame. It is starting to do its little dance right here. It's starting to get closer towards it, right? The point behind this is that it's very interesting the way that we're observing this, because this is a trend line regression rejection that we're experiencing within the correlation coefficient algorithm here, which is this is not typical for it to do, right? What I'm curious about is that whenever it did invert, where it was not correlated to Bitcoin, it just actually traded sideways, right? It actually traded sideways at a very similar moment in both phases, right? So what I'm going to show you here is this next. Anytime that we did face this bottom of inversion here, there has been literal just contraction and only consolidation. So straight sideways trading during these phases at the lows, right? So which is very curious because because every single time it did that, it made a new high. So this time right here, right, we were faced all the way down here in correlation, right? In contraction, right? Then when it started increasing its correlation to BTC, massive explosion, right? So the thing goes all the way up to the top, comes all the way back down again. So it hits this area here, contracts, sideways trading. Then it starts to correlate to BTC again, massive explosion towards the upside. Then it comes right back down again and hits this level here. And then again, it contracts just before it explodes again. And that's where we are today. That's one thing that I wanted to show you, okay? So that's already now psychology within the formations, right? So we're talking about fractal analysis. I don't typically like to use fractal theory, guys. I don't typically like to use fucking sideways lines and all kinds of bullshit like that. I'm normally a numbers guy, and from that point I really don't give a shit what else is being said at that point, right? So if I'm going to just go ahead and express to you what I'm seeing here, I'm just going to do it as the chart says. Know for a fact that I don't give a single shit that you're holding XRP. I'm actually just doing this for you to know what I'm observing here and how I did it to some of the companies that I was hired for to do some analysis for, right? So the long-term analysis, I did all kinds of shit like this. So now let's go ahead and put away this chart here to show you something slightly different, right? Something that I definitely haven't seen anybody in the crypto influencership talk about, or really anyone really mention this whatsoever. Time cycles, time zones, and inversions, right? So what I'm going to talk about here, team, is actually drives of and I gotta tell it to you like this. I know it's gonna be a mouthful, right? But it's all good. What we're observing here are several drives of phantom hidden bullish divergence, right, team? So that happens. Sorry about that focus, right, team? I don't know what the fuck happened there, but all good. So phantom hidden bullish divergence happens when price when the diverging line goes through price, and that's all it really is. What we're looking for in divergent drives is this. We're talking about momentum versus price action itself, right? So notice at this pivot point here, which is I need to show you the rhyming areas, right? So this pivot, let's get rid of these drawings real quick. So this pivot here matches this low pivot at this point, right? From this pivot in price, let's put the drawings back in, to this pivot, it makes a lower low on momentum and it makes a higher low on price, okay? So that creates your hidden bullish divergence, phantom, because it goes through the price, all right? So that's just one way to kind of observe what we're doing here. Now, that is for the first half of the second large phase, right? So the first half of this second large phase here has that inversion. Now, there is a macro inversion too, right? So hidden bullish divergence phantom variety would also be located with this neon green line. The entire phase also has a higher low and price also creating, and momentum also creating a lower low right before it explodes. The curious thing about this is that I didn't have anything to be able to, Cryptic Trader, what's up, buddy? Good to see you here. Options, good to see you there as well. Very good to see everybody in here, man. Apologies for not actually saying hello to everyone. Destiny, good to see you there too. But yes, team, I just decided to come on to kind of witness here the targets that we've been talking about for fucking some time now, right? And finally coming into fruition. So very good stuff. So yeah, now if you can already tell, these are random ass lines put down here, right? To find the rhyming inversions within the first phase. Well, that I had to get a little creative here, team. In order for me to find the diverging phases like this here, the hidden bullish divergences, right? Just like the way we did on the larger phase, I had to bring the time frame down, the interval, right? I had to bring that interval down to about a 12-hour time frame. So if we're going to use a 12-hour time frame here, then check this out, right? Look at this. 12-hour time, and we scooch all the way back here towards this first phase down here, and there you have it. Look at this. This pivot matching right over here in price, right? There you go. This is your pivot here. This is your pivot here. What we're expecting here is inversions, right? So first of all, here is this pivot here, right where we are, creating a higher low, and this is creating a lower low, right? That's the first divergence, right? Before price action exploded towards the upside right here. Good stuff, right? Now, of course, the macro inversion as well. So from that same point that we observed all the way to this area here, matching this pivot down here, I want you to look at the slope too, right? You need to make sure that you can see the slope diverging upside price versus downside on your momentum. So there you go, right? Pivot to pivot. So let me just go ahead and display this right over here. There's your pivot low right about here, right? This is, don't mind my line, right? That's just the thing that I put here for a 12-hour divergence, right? All right, so now matching this drive all the way to this point here, which matches to this area here, creating a higher low and a lower low inside of the diverging drives. Guys, that is what I'm talking about here. So now look at what happened at that drive, right? Huge explosion towards the upside. That's not it though. That's definitely not it for what I'm observing here. Let me come back in here to the either the bi-weekly or the monthly time, and I got to show you some interesting facts over here. Let's get rid of the RSI and now take a look at a simpler view for this. We now know that this is one phase, right? Consisting of two different triangles, inverted head and shoulders for a breakout. We know that this is the first half of the entire phase. That is very curious because this second half is exactly 2 times the size as the first one, and we can measure them. So check this out. Down here, 92 bars, 1,288 days. The second phase, the first half of the second phase, 1,253 days, 90 bars. And of course, the third phase and the second half of the second phase, right, would be 95 bars, 1,330 days. So they are almost mirror-like, right? We could do it like this. Let's take a copy of price there and apply it into the next phase. Check it out. Right? How about this? What about down here? So we have similar reactive triangles here. I'm not saying that this is why it's breaking out. I'm actually just explaining to you how I'm able to just look at fractal analysis in a different way. And in fact, I don't really use fractal analysis. I'm just giving you guys the clear path to this weird happening right now, right? So anytime that we have had about 92 bars on average, there has been an explosive move towards the upside. Now, check this out. I want you to look at these phases in this manner. I want you to look at this initial zone here, right, as stage 1, and this is stage 2, and this is stage 3. Let's do that for this phase as well. Stage 1, 2, and 3. We're going to pay attention here to the low made at phase number 3, right? The low made here. So we created a new low, just like we did right over here. We created a new low. The rise from this point to this point, from this point to this point, you're not going to believe this fucking either. 780% to the upside, 808% to the upside. Completely distant in time. Completely distant in time here, and they are matching. Now, what happens here is pretty magical, right? After the phase is done, 92 bars, there is a 7,269% jump to the upside on price. And it would be at the 92 bars or roughly 1,300 days, right? So if we were to kind of compare that, then what if we made a move of 7,269% at the end of the phase, which is where we are now at roughly 90 bars, 1,300 days. We are there now. Okay, it's already interesting that we got this bounce to the upside based on the end of all of these phases. Okay, so 7,269 takes us to a target of a massive, guys, please hang on. These are mathematical terms. I don't give a shit if this goes there or not. I'm just giving it to you the way it is. Based on fractal analysis, which is not the only thing that I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you how I can validate the upside on this as well. Not only by rhyming signals, but also by mathematics. So let's go ahead and take a look at that top side. 7,269%, just like the first phase did. That takes us to $37.62. Magically enough, the $37 is located at the 2-spot 618 Fibonacci retracement, right? That's already very nice. It's curious because the trade, humans, we usually tend to take things to the 618 targets, whether we like it or not, knowing it or not. It's just the power of the golden ratio, right? Okay, so if we have a target of around $37, how can we validate that we would even make the move of 7,269% to the upside? Well, let's do this. If we take a geometric, a Fibonacci retracement from this 800% jump, right, high to low, then let's go ahead and observe where that takes us at the peak level of the 7,269% to the upside. That takes us to about 44 cents, 2.618. Great. Okay, so let's do it again here from the 800% jump, right? We'll take a fib from the swing high to the swing low, and see where that takes us to the 2.618, just like it did here. Well, what do you know? $37, 2.618 on Fibonacci. Okay, so okay, hold the fuck up. Arca just pointed out, and yes, in third person like a fucking loser, just pointed out that we actually have rhyming geometrics, rhyming formation phases, rhyming timing, all correlated to the upside on BTC by phase, by cyclical phases. I'm not done. Okay. So if we take a look at the semi-annual candle being the 6-month iteration here, you will notice one of my favorite fucking formations in the world, right? You guys will know that I fucking absolutely detest this formation. Please notice here that we are observing a semi-annual fucking cup and handle here. The semi-annual cup and handle. Oh man, it actually irks me that fucking. It actually irks me that formation. Hold on, I gotta show you something here too. Come on, man. Come on. If we take into consideration the breakout from this triangle, right? Remember, bull pennants. I'm speaking of, let me just go ahead and diminish the right angle triangle, right? If we are talking about bull pennant breakouts, which would be this here, right? This would tell us that we have 3 potential targets to reach to the upside. The breakout target, the middle of the triangle, using it, as a price objective, and also the top end of the triangle here. So if we take a top end breakout, or let's just say this. Let's use the right angle triangle instead. So we'll use the right angle triangle from the bottom side to the very top side here, right? The blue one. And let's apply it to the breakout zone. Let's just say that we were to break out right over here. The top side target that we're getting is, curiously enough, at the 2.618, $29.52, but accurately enough, $31.65. Now, if I'm able to take this right angle triangle, which is the blue formation that we see here, right? The top end target is giving us that $31.65 zone. If we come back over here and take a look at the semi-annual 6-month candles, massive candles, and measure the cup and handle from the top side to the bottom side and apply it to this area here, well, take a look at the target that we're getting. 3.618 above the 2.618, $31.69. So now we have an immediate short-term triangle from the biweekly time, which we can observe from this area right about here. So this is your 1-month time frame, biweekly time frame. It can also be even a 5-day time frame triangle, right? All of these time frames. And now moving all the way up to a semi-annual variety, we can actually observe your top end target at the exact same formation target, right? Very curious. Okay, now one more thing to show you. The annual candles, 12-month candles here. This is your traditional bull flag breakout. If we were, this is where shit gets a little interesting, okay, guys? And I'm going to need for you to be very open-minded about this, because I have no idea what this ticker is even about. I know that there are litigations, and I know that there's like a whole bunch of legalities and shit that are going on here. But if this is true, then we can take a trend line from the bull flag, and I'm going to do it, well, I mean, fuck it, I'll do it traditionally, right? From the very top to the very bottom like this, You take this line and you apply it to this area right there, okay? So if you were to apply it to that area, we're getting a target of about $96.52. If we take the lower bound bull flag breakout on an annual, it's taking us to around $56.22. It's curious that the annual is taking you to the 3-spot 272. You guys already know, my master students already know how it's always something for me to take a look at why in the hell do things reach the 272 targets or the 618 targets, right? Psychologically speaking. Okay, macro formations after macro formations, geometrics lining up, right? And still, your boy is not done. Okay, let's move on to the last phase for this thing. For that, I'm going to use volatility versus linear volatility versus stochastic momentum. Let's go ahead and take a look at this from maybe the 3-day time frame, right? The 3-day time frame is going to be over in 1 day and 17 hours. It was showing curvature towards the downside here. We were expecting a little bit of a pullback, but that obviously did not happen. Okay, let's move on to the 4-day time frame. What I'm going to show you here is this. If you are observing linear volatility, right? So this is the dispersion of returns. What I want you to don't try to understand it for all the technical aspects behind it. What I want you to understand within this indicator here is that volatility is represented linearly, right? Through a linear fashion. That means that if we go up in volatility, people are buying and selling. A lot of frequency. The frequency is getting tighter and tighter. A lot of people are doing it, right? It's not direction bias. It's just to show you that there is a lot of activity happening in that moment or during that interval. In this case, we're on the 4-day interval, okay? On a 4-day time frame, we are above critical levels. 90% of critical expansion and above. This usually means that max amount of attention is within this asset and above normal. Okay, so if you're getting here max volatility, what you can use to kind of guide yourself, right? Think about this as your throttle in your car, the gas pedal, right? Man, yeah, think about this as the gas pedal in your car. So you're going to hit the throttle, right? You're going to hit the gas here to go faster and faster. But which direction are you using? How are you using your steering wheel? What is the steering wheel doing? Use stochastic momentum. Let's go to the 5-day. Take a look at the 5-day time frame, pivot on this. Straight to the upside, and we have massive volatility spike. That means that there is a massive amount of people trading this asset. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Take a look at this magic here. The weekly time frame, volatility versus momentum, showing you critical break into the expansive zone. And look at the stochastic momentum indicator. It is literally pivoted straight to the upside on a weekly time frame. Now I'm speaking to you not about the geometrics, fractals. I am not talking to you about psychology, and I am certainly not talking to you about any fucking technical. I am talking to you about the physics behind everything that's happening here. Okay? So, if we are talking about natural physics, this is something that is the footprint of the tradable asset, right? This is not something that can be manipulated. And why do I know that? How is it that this guy can say that this tool here with all those little bulbs and all these little red lines and stuff, how is it that that's not being manipulated? Well, you're speaking to the author of the algorithm. I wrote it. So if that's the case, holy shit, then we must be experiencing actual volatility towards the upside. Fuck, man. So if that's the case, holy shit, we are really getting all that volatility, right? Does it have the liquidity? Dude, the amount of trading that has gone in this by volume is dude, beyond what I've ever expected. And I'm going to show you some more regarding that. So check this out, because it's been illiquid for like the better part of like a year. It's just been kind of stagnant. It hasn't been really doing anything. Damn specs. Pump it, bump it. Oh my goodness, man. So here, oh dude, I don't give a shit about this asset or anything, right? I'm just experiencing the signals that I'm getting through this. Actually, for BTC, this was the egg hunt. Like for example, I believe it was GME that gave me the upside signals of the market before it even pumped, and I'm like, holy shit, if this is really rhyming like this, then GME may be signaling here a massive bull run on the major indices. And fucking that happened. So I don't really care about the asset itself. I care about the embedded signals within it that gives us this thing for the future of other assets, you know? And I spoke to my mentor about this, and he told me that there are always hidden gems, and the hidden gems give you the signals for potential upside on the broader market. And I'm like, wow, okay, so it isn't just me that has found that. And he said all the time it'll happen. You'll see them embedded, but they hide. They're hiding in plain sight. So I think I found the reason why this would break out, right? So if this is the weekly time frame now, right? We got the weekly time frame upside stochastics and massive volatility spiking. Let's jump to the bi-weekly now. Look at the bi-weekly. Anytime that volatility expands beyond this green line here being the 15%, right? That usually signals a fire. If this stochastic momentum indicator is flashing the upside, that typically means that there is a statistical move in play, and an average could be based around that move towards the upside. The bi-weekly candle that we have present right now is one of the largest Marabazoo bi-weeklies that I've ever seen in my life. That is massive, and it has 1 day and 17 hours to close. It's already about to close and still has this amount of power, and so close to the $2 target. Okay, let's continue. What about the monthly time frame? This is where it really sits. This is where I can tell you that this has never happened before to XRP, and what is about to happen to XRP is likely a lot bigger than anyone probably perceives this to be. Volatility in linear versus stochastic momentum on the monthly, which is over in 16 hours and 40 minutes with this massive Marabazoo candle, tweezer bottom, true green outside bar, and bullish engulfing, is firing off the biggest volatility fire off that it has in its entire trading history, and it has never been this contracted below the 15% in its entire life. Take a look for yourself. This entire phase here is all contraction, and notice the moving average, it actually pivoted inside of the 15th percentile. It has never done that before. Not only that, is that when it did get contracted, it has also never made a single volatility spike like the one that this has right now. This is a momentous move. And this is why I got so excited when I was presented the ticker. I'm like, holy shit, wait up. From 48 cents, I spoke to the team, and I was already late. In the 40s, I was already fucking late. I spoke to my team, and I said, this is likely gonna fucking run here very soon. From 48 cents, I spoke about $1.05 target, $1.05. I already had mapped out a $1.24 target. People on YouTube would come up to my channel and say, this thing can't even break above 60 cents. You're out of your mind. You don't know what you're talking about. And again, it's not about my bias. I don't even hold the fucking asset. I don't give a shit about it. What I'm talking about here is specifically done through statistics and geometrics. So I'm actually looking at the mathematical properties within this to dominate the upside, or to be able to determine its continuation probabilities. Because those who know who I am know that I trade based on mathematical figures. So, moving on from the monthly time frame, and this being one of the most historic moments that it's ever had, bi-monthly time frame is also experiencing one of the biggest flashes of volatility with an upside bias here too. Now, what's curious is that within stochastic momentum, there is also a potential trend line break as we speak. This right here. The monthly time frame has a smaller white line, right? So I wanted you to just experience this from the bi-monthly right here. This is your trend line regression rejection. We are in the process of breaking out from this regression here. Historically speaking, if this technically breaks out from this point, like the way we're observing here, well, we know the probabilities over triangles, right? That would usually lead towards a top side of around 65.24% stochastic upside. How can I tell you that this could break out? Well, through my studies in stochastic momentum versus linear volatility, I have noticed that typically around 70 to 75% of the time, we tend to get larger breakouts when we're sitting within the 2%. Well, actually, within stochastic momentum would be within the 3 to 5% of the center of the oscillator. So this would mean that we're inside a gravitational zone. So if we're sitting in a gravitational zone here, price action is likely to be fed towards that upside, right? And as we come down, notice how both of these iterations, right around that 3 to 5% away from the mean, as it comes down, it kinks immediately inside of the gravitation. And right over here too. It goes up, 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 right? And then it kinks because it's still within gravitation and it pulls it right back down. In this case, we are moving towards the upside and potentially getting into gravitation in here. Seeing the breakout from this triangle now, team, would actually lead towards a bigger psychological break. Triangles like this typically break around 3 tests, actually at 3 tests, right? This is going to be your test 1, 2, and 3 on stochastic momentum, leading towards that upside, giving extra validity towards the move that we're experiencing, even yet right over here. So yes, while I did speak about the target of about $2 to my master students weeks ago, right, based on our analysis, I expressed to them through the classroom that this is likely to go to the $2 target very soon. In their excitement, they all started longing at $1.40. But know that I've been talking about the upside on this since 40 cents. But a lot of the times, right, this is it's a micro cap. A lot of people are gonna call it a shit coin. But I'm telling you, what I'm observing within XRP, mathematically versus psychologically, is very unique. What I'm trying to tell you is that I am versing the $2 target of XRP's breakout to the 6,000 points of the ES for the S&P 500 E-mini futures contracts, to the $600 target of the SPY, and also to the $100,000 resistance of BTC. Here is my next thesis for you. Now, I'm speaking about BTC against XRP at this point. So let me go ahead and pull that up. The pullbacks that we're experiencing within BTC, I'm going to use the all-time history index here to determine the upside continuation for XRP against BTC, and I'm going to use it against the US dollar on the all-time history, the index, right? So this is trading from way back over here in 2009, right? Okay. We are sitting at about 96,843, and during this day today, we actually experienced a new high, I believe, or recently did. Okay, so the top price action here experienced around a week ago is giving us about 99,661 on the high. It's going to give you different targets here based on brokers. It's okay. So these sell-offs that we're getting as we're experiencing these top outs, right? Remember, these are daily candles. So we have resistance. It keeps on resisting from that top side target. In order for us to validate breakout, there has to be enough buy side interest to be able to push this thing beyond that 100K mark. Here's the variable. We don't know how many people have been holding here since $100 or $500. Several BTC, saying that their lifetime retirement here would be BTC at $100,000, and they would risk off at this point. We don't know that, right? We don't know the variables here that are being presented, which is why we're getting a critical amount of resistance at this area. Many different reasons, right? A lot of people opening short here, betting that this won't go above 100,000. A lot of different variables here. All good, no problem. But within the shorter time frame, there is something being built here that is indicating a continuation to the upside. Let's take a look at this. This is an inverted head and shoulders on an 8-hour time frame. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. So if we were to be able to put some type of breakout target for this, then let's go ahead and measure that potential upside within this formation, right? So you take your neckline like this, and you apply a trend line all the way from that neckline to the very bottom side of the price action, and you apply it to the right hand of your shoulder. So if your shoulder is right about here, I am taking you to around a target of around 107,126. Otherwise, your why not theory, your why not thesis would take you to 110. So $110,000 on an 8-hour time frame is what I'm kind of saying here. So if we have $107,000 technically, what about this? What is the 2 standard deviation breakout on Bollinger Bands? Well, luckily my algorithm over here is able to tell me that right away. If I want 2 standard deviations away from the mean, which is kind of sort of in some way bouncing from, right? That would be $93,000 Bollinger Band mean, 93,300. We reached below it, 90,708, right? This candle here was resisting or supporting at 93, right? Very cool. So that means that we would break through the 1 standard deviation upside. Upper 2 standard deviations would lead towards 108,063. And the target based on your inverted head and shoulders, 107,000. Mathematically, okay, geometrically, we're going to find out the geometrics right now is what I'm trying to say. So now mathematically, you're able to do this based on just 2 standard deviations run on a daily time frame from its mean. This would be Bollinger Bands. Very curious. All right. What about geometrically? Why don't we take a geometric retracement on this using Fibonacci extensions unnaturally to give us a potential top side valuation on this. All right, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll do it from the swing high to swing low of the shoulder, right? Of the right-hand shoulder. We can do it in several different ways if you want, but what we're looking for here is a 272 or a 618 target towards that area of $107 or 108. So why don't we go ahead and do that just like this? So we have a target of about 105,700, and we're looking at about 108,000 on the 272. Okay, that's already curious because $108,000 is literally the 2 standard deviations that we're getting on the mean. Wow. Okay, great. But what if we did it? What if we did another geometric to see if we can get it tighter? What if we did the top of the right-hand shoulder to the very bottom swing of the inverted head and shoulders? Okay, so in this matter here, we're getting the 2 fib landing exactly at the 107,300. Nice. Okay, now what would it mean if we took the Fibonacci retracement up here, all the way down to this area here? Well, let's explore that, right? Okay, so that's taking us to, again, right, 105,674. The 2 fib at 109, magically in the 50% between both is our topside target. In other words, if you're using this is your zone. You would be calling out a target to the upside that would be 105,662 to 107,220. But if we spoke about $110,000 target, then what would this target do? The psychological target. Well, if we did that and put ourselves at the 109,000 of the 2 fib, well, that makes your topside target for the inverted head and shoulders the 50% of your retrace. So that's already very curious as well. Now, what if we want to take it granular? What if we want geometrics to not be so damn crazy like that? Let's just take, for example, the prior day's range low to range high. Let's do that. Range low of the prior day to the range high. Let's do it. And let's see what geometrics tell us at that point. Here we go. 1 day prior, giving us 107,830. 110,000 was our target, right? And this gives you the 50% again of your range. So if that is really the case here, then shit, man, something is absolutely a brewing here. Okay. Magically speaking, my team already knows that I was calling a potential 111,000 to 114,000 for spot 618 at 111,535. That's already very curious, man. So now, what about this? Arca, you're saying that this thing could hit $37? You already explained it, right? You explained the fractal analysis behind this and the hidden bullish divergent drives price against momentum. They're all rhyming. Every phase rhyming with bars, which is very fucking curious. Wait a second. So how is it that we can make it to that upside? And how long did it take for us to get there? So if we're talking about the opening, I guess let me take it to this chart here and express our move on a monthly time. Then from this break here, where we met the 2,269% upside, consolidated, then we made that next move towards the upside, right? Okay, so if we consolidated here, that means that this is the tiny version of the next consolidation phase, right? So that means that this would break towards that upside. Cool, okay. Now, the second phase here, the second stage from the first phase, which would be this here, showed us a downside for that inverted head and shoulders to break. So on a monthly time frame, it looks like the first break we got was just a signal to the upside and a symptom of continuation. So that means that there would potentially be 1 month and 2 months to potentially reach that 2,769% jump towards the $37 target. We are, in fact, on the monthly time frame and 16 hours away from closing that bar, just like we did back over here on its first month. We closed it with a massive jump to the upside and continuation. Now, heads up, because this month here opened up, went to its all-time high of around 620, and it pulled all the way back and then continued. So you're gonna have to be explicitly careful over how price action behaves here, because the bigger the upside, the bigger your swings are gonna be. I need you to be incredibly careful over this. Okay, guys? Now, if we have this upside, team, I am validating this simply with the continuation of volatility versus stochastic momentum. This is one of the these are one of the key things that I can observe here for continuation. BTC, it is sitting presently at 96,790. It is getting a pullback here, but I want you to notice that 16 hours and 25 minutes is the daily close. What happens at the opening of a new bar? Well, if you can go ahead and write this in your notes, write this now. 60 to 70% of the time, you will get a 30 to 50% prior bar retrace. So that means that we close this day, we open the next day, retrace to the 50%, bounce to the upside. Typically speaking, that's what happens, right? It doesn't happen every fucking single time, hence the 60%. So in this case, very curious, jump from the 50% and continuation. Now, it's not just any continuation here. Why is that? Because if we draw in here, the geometric level, price has officially entered the golden pocket. Between the 0.618 and the 0.382 Fibonacci ratio, we are inside of the golden pocket. And this usually presents a spring of price action towards an upside. So I'm saying this as the end of the thesis. Here it is. Repeating again, the pullbacks that we're getting right now, right? The pullbacks that we're getting right now from the 100,000, close to $100,000 mark, these are the pullbacks of the $100,000 mark, because people think that once we hit 100,000, this is going to draw down. I don't think that's going to happen here. MicroStrategies just signed a convertible note for $3 billion purchase of Bitcoin coming on. And I believe he's going to do it before it hits 100K. Last week, ticker symbol MARA, purchased $1 billion, 5,277 tokens of BTC at the lit price. So it is being acquired institutionally. The whales are collecting and acquiring the asset as we go. If that's something, if that's a hint, this is what it's telling me. That if XRP were to reach that $2 zone, just like BTC reaches the $100,000 zone, I don't think BTC is slowing down. I have a feeling that BTC is going to break through the 100,000 and short squeeze all the way to potentially the $107,000 to $111,000 and then express a pullback. The pullback wouldn't be that it's over. The pullback would be a technical reason. It would be the break of the six-figure mark, right? Resistance at that top side that we're looking at geometrics, right? 106, 107, maybe 110, 111, right around there. A huge spike towards the upside. Massive take profits in here and start the validation of the break and conversion of resistance of the 100K conversion into support. When we validate that support break and confirm that the bulls are okay with the 100K being our new area of support, price action would essentially start ripping towards the upside, thus introducing the Christmas rally. I expect this to happen not only through Bitcoin, but I expect this to happen through risk-on assets as well, traditional markets, equities, as we're experiencing the symptoms as we speak right now. There's an AI narrative happening right now within the crypto space, deep within. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's called AI agents. So AI agents is presenting a narrative, a shift towards potentially servicing the customer in different ways. Look it up. You'll be able to see what it does. Now, if it does, in my personal bias, right, I'm looking at the macro fundamentals, looking at macro price and continuation potentials. What I'm looking for is exit liquidity from crypto and entry liquidity into risk-on assets, traditional markets. How can that be possible? Well, by mass adoption from crypto into, well, the cross-platform between crypto and to equities, right? AI agents could be presenting that. So if AI agents get so big and it presents the shift of servicing the client in a different way, digital manner, visually, right? Then we could be seeing big tech make a move into the adoption of these AI narratives in crypto. That means the chip makers, semiconductors, being NVIDIA, AMD, ticker symbol ARM. Now that SMCI is creating a restructuring of their books, then that's another potential way that we can observe the continuation of future equity adoption of the crypto assets, right? So they could be buying these companies, and this will introduce a continuation to the upside in tandem. Everything rally. So in everything, short squeeze, essentially. So what do you guys think? That is exactly what I'm kind of looking at here, right? So apes against the machine saying crypto rips, then meme stocks next, same as the 2021 area, right? So the 2021 phase was a very curious one, right? Because we were pumped in like our pockets, right? So we had lots of stimulus, right? We had lots of stimulus cash being deposited straight into so it was literally free cash, right? So of course, over time, we realized that was a pretty terrible mistake and we had to fucking pay that back, right? Damn it. So all fucking good, all good in the hood. Now, let's see, Calm Down is saying if you buy it, don't hold it on an exchange, right? Yeah, so I would, you know what? Not financial advice, but I would also hold it in a cold wallet. Sure. Good note. So now Calm Down is also saying over the next 2 to 3 months, if it doesn't explode, I was aiming for 23 and then, 80 in a few months after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present my next narrative a little bit later because I still have a video that I'm going to be releasing on this, and it's going to be kind of an extensive video, so I might actually make it a 4-part thread, right? Maybe 10 minutes each. And it would be named, just to give you a hint, it would be named this. What do you say? Should we start filming that video or no? Throw an A in the chat if you would like for me to film that full narrative or the full thread of analysis here for this potential. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for participating here, team. I really appreciate you. Now, Michael Payne, if you are still in there, let me know what you think over this thread of analysis thus far. Now, I did put in a large amount of work. Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate you participating like this. Let's see. So Team Maker saying this way I can send it to someone rather than explain it. Yeah, absolutely, man. This is literally being recorded, so you'll be able to rewatch this again. As I started off the analysis here fairly quickly, right? I just know that this is going to be the next thread of analysis that I'm going to put out. And I love that you guys are completely with it. I want to show you how this is possible. Michael Payne saying, fucking amazing. I've come to similar conclusions. Thanks, man. You're very welcome, Michael. And thank you again for that fat ass dono, my dude. I couldn't be more thankful to you, my brother. Very, very, very kind of you. Now, team, if you are curious over how this is done, get at me, right? I am a trading instructor. Get in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse@gmail.com, and I will give you the syllabus for our beginners program, beginners in charting and trading. I'm talking about from the very bottom, and then I will move you to my strategies mentorship, then executions, then psychology. So get in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse@gmail, request for that syllabus and disclaimer, and I'll go ahead and pass that information right on to you. I want you to know how this thread of analysis is performed. How is it that we're able to see the price of fucking $2 from 40 cents, aside from the fact that everybody kind of already knew because of their fundamentals and stuff like that. But remember, I do not practice fundamentals. I practice mathematical biases, and that's where it scares a lot of people. You're saying math, bro. You're saying math. You have no idea how easy it actually is. Nothing in the markets is easy, of course, but to calculate what I'm going to have you calculate does present some ease. We need the bottom foundation of some mathematical concepts in order for us to perform this analysis. And I want to do that for you. Make sure to get in touch with me, team. So that is it for tonight, guys. I absolutely love that everybody was able to come in for the thesis on XRP for the first time here. Know that this thesis has been existing for some time for my students only, and now I'm releasing it to the public little by little. All right, team, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel always, right? Please do me that favor so we can help that algorithm choose the Arca Bulls trading team, right? I love you guys so much. I wish you very well, and we will speak here very, very soon. All right, team? Love you all. We will talk fairly soon, all right? Adios, everyone. Adios and adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within this video as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever, 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 ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.